Hello everyone, my name is Russell King and this is my final project for the Exercise, Fitness, and Education class I'm taking at California Baptist University. On here you can see a YouTube link to where I was doing some work with my client. So I hope you enjoy it. Uh, yeah. As part of this final project, uh, I had to choose a volunteer and have them undergo a PARQ assessment and a functional movement assessment. Um, for the PARQ assessment, it's used to determine the eligibility of the volunteer to proceed with uh, uh, physical activity more than they're normally used to. For the functional movement assessment, it is used to um, as pre-screening tool to uh, assess the client's physical health in regards to range of motion, uh, balance, and flexibility. During this class, I have learned a little bit about periodization, uh, and according to Half, periodization is the systematic planning of athletic or physical training. There are a number of things to consider when doing a periodization plan. First off, you need to uh, have a goal to work towards. This is best done by working with your client and seeing what their abilities are and what kind of things they can do and can't do, uh, and finding out their medical history and those sort of things. Um, the goal that uh, the goal that you have to work towards should both be realistic um, and achievable. You can't say that you uh, want to lose 30 pounds in a week because that's just not achievable. But at the same time, you don't want to say that you want to lose 2 pounds in 8 weeks because that's achievable, but it's not really realistic because logically, uh, you can that could happen without even changing anything. It could just depend on maybe you're more active a little bit or you're eating less during that time. So you both want to be realistic and achievable and logical. Um, so my client and I decided on the goal to lose 10 pounds in 8 weeks. The periodization has many different degrees, from just a single training session all the way to like a multi-year plan. If you look at the table 21.1 in our textbook, by half, you can see that a single training session can last several hours. The training day just lasts one day. Microcycle, it could be um, several days up to 2 weeks. Mesocycle is from 2 weeks to 6 weeks. A macrocycle lasts um, several weeks, several months up to a year long. There's the annual training plan that lasts, like it says, a year. And then there's the multi-year plan, which can go 2 to 4 years. Um, as you can see here, this is the beginning of the training cycle the training plan that I decided to have my client implement. As I previously stated, her her goal is to lose 10 pounds in 8 weeks, and you can see it at the top. And she's a beginner, so you don't want to have anything too strenuous, but not something where you also want to allow her to be able to get used to the techniques of everything. Um, as I was as I was going through my client's medical history with her, I found out that has uh, she has a pacemaker, chronic migraines, and chronic back pain due to, or all three of those things are due to a severe car accident that she has had in the past. She also um, has had two knee replacements. So according to the doctor's order, she's not supposed to be on her put too much weight on her knees, if at all possible, because that could damage the knee replacement. So as you can see, on this, at the top of it says mesocycle 1. I made a training plan for 2 mesocycles, which is uh, 2 4-week plans. Um, for for the first week, well, actually throughout the entire training plan, since she is a beginner, it says day 1, day 2, day 3. But in between each of the days, I'm gonna have her do a rest day. That is to allow for recovery for her muscles, so that she doesn't get run out. On the first day, I have her doing resistance. I have her starting out with squats, because it is the squats and bench press, because those are both compound exercises, which means that um, they incorporate large muscle groups and also multiple joints. This is better for to start out with those, because then get those out of the way. Because if you wait till the end of the, the, the training session, then those, if you put those at the end, the muscles you will be working would be exhausted. That's not helpful. The squats that I chose, they work, like I said, multiple larger muscle group and multiple joints. The squats work the gluteus maximus, the semimembranosus, the semitendinosus, the biceps femoris, the vastus lateralis, the vastus intermedius, the vastus medialis, and the rectus femoris. And then for the bench press, it works the pectoralis major, anterior deltoids, and the triceps brachii. I chose these because it works, like I said, it works in major muscle groups, and it's better to start off working those and then going down to the specific muscle groups. This is specific muscles. As a secondary secondary and tertiary goal for my client, she also wanted to work on balance and aerobic capacity. So for the aerobics, I had her doing some water walking and some just regular walking at 50% of her heart rate max. That will allow her to get her blood pumping pretty well and burn more calories. So that will help her with losing weight. And then she wants to work on the flexibility and the mobility thing. Works on that too. So that's where the hops and the stretches come in later on in the week. Here's the week 2 workout plan. This is for the first mesocycle. It is basically pretty much the same as the first week's exercises. Like I said, this is to get her used to added physical activity. but it also helps her to I increased the intensity slightly. So instead of working 65% of her 1 rep max, she's using 67%. This is to on like squats and bench press. This is to continue to build her strength, and so that way she can start to be more physically active. For this one, this is week 3 of Muscle Cycle 1. I switched out some of the exercises a little bit. This will allow her to. I switched out the squats for the elliptical because that will help her with her aerobic endurance, and I switched out some of the exercises on day 3. I incorporated a backward skip, so that will help with her flexibility and mobility. I also increased the intensity again, so that will help her to be able to get her heart rate and her strength up as well. Alright, this is the week 4 of Muscle Cycle 1. You can see that the elliptical is still there and the dumbbell bench press, but I increased the intensity so that she can continue to work on her physical activity, and that increases intensity and helps her to get better physically. As here, this is the start of Muscle Cycle 2. This is her goal still to lose 10 pounds in 8 weeks, and she's a beginner. I switched back to the squats. I just increased the number of sets she does and how much she does, what intensity it is. So it'd be 70% of her 1 rep max for bench press and squat. I also added some plyometrics on Mesocycle 2. This is to help her with her mobility, and especially with her back. With her back being her chronic pain in her back, it might help with that. If you increase the mobility, maybe it might not be so much back pain. So here, week 3, I switched back to elliptical and dumbbell bench press and the backward skip. And here's week 4, and you can see that each week I'm increasing the intensity slightly so that she can get used to the proper technique and to increase her strength and physical ability. Okay, this is the application section. I have learned the fundamentals of creating a training plan, and that I need to start with the more inclusive exercises like squats and bench press, and then go down to like leg press and upper bent over row, that kind of thing. I need to work on using proper anatomical terms and continue improving on making training plans. I need to pay close attention on how to cue my clients on proper technique. I need to improve upon having experience be my teacher and look for opportunities to apply what I've learned. As for the faith integration part, Jesus asks us to do our part in John 9 and Acts 9, before he will do his part. And Matthew, Mark, and Luke, it talks about Jesus healing the man with leprosy, showing that even if the people around you are shunning certain people, that God still cares for them. And then Matthew 22 speaks of loving God above everything else, and then loving your neighbor. So if you follow those guidelines, it will help you to be able to do what God would have you to do. And here's my references. Thank you.